by my attitude that I most definitely from.
Your name, sir? Your name?
Vincent.
Vincent.
I attended a real estate training program, and I was looking to get involved with other like-minded thinkers in the New York area.
I'm sorry, I want to stop for one moment. He said like-minded thinkers. No?
Yeah, boy.
I just wanted some feedback. Yes! That I wasn't the only like-minded thinker in the room. But that's all it was. That's all it was. Vincent, as you were saying.
And I simply wanted to connect with other people, see the network and how things can be put in motion. In my own circle, I don't know a lot of people who deal with real estate. Not consciously, that's for sure.
Not consciously.
Yeah.
And that's a very good term. I was speaking with someone a couple of weeks ago, and he owns a number of...
It's real fast. My name is Jared. I represent Next Generation Trust Services. We used to be called Trust Northeast. We handle self-directed IRAs. How many people have heard of investment in real estate within their IRAs? Wow, that's just a lot more than I expected. So there are several different ways that you can invest in real estate within your IRA. You can set up an LLC and have complete checkbook control of the property and all the funds coming in and out. You can actually loan money to others and start it's sort of a operating agreement where you'll be collecting every month interest payments. It's different. It's a different way. It's to direct your funds. A lot of people are frustrated with the stock market and losing money to inflation and things like that, and they want to invest in real estate within their IRAs, and who better than you guys to make this known. So thank you very much.
Next we're going to bring up Mr. Nick Tang. From the Tri-State Mixer.
I'm not here to represent them.
No, he's not, but he's also a Tri-State Mixer. He's not a competitor though. No.
We do friendly competition. Just so you guys know, I wasn't really prepared to speak tonight, but I'll tell you what it is that we're here for. My name is Nick Tang, for the people that don't know me. Earlier last year, I started doing something I didn't get to do until like last year, which was raise money. I got into the business of raising money last year. I was able to raise up to $4 million last year, and since then I've been lending it out at the appropriate rate to the right people. If it's the right people, I can lend it to cheap. If it's if it's a newbie, I'm not even sure I'm interested in lending. So that's something that I got into last year, and we're making a lot of money with it. And I'm hoping to raise up to $40 million this year. I'm currently actually raising money for some really big people out there right now. Alongside that, about 6 months ago, I got into the business of multifamilies. I'm now buying multifamilies, and I love it. Pretty much, I have a deal up here that I shared with Teresa that we bought just recently, $85,000, $15,000 rehab. Each unit rents out for $1,000 a unit. You're making, if you buy it cash, what are you making? That's 3,000 times 12. That's 36,000. That's 36% return if you buy in cash. If you put down 25%, you're making a ridiculous, even larger return on investment. And if you're putting down 5%, you're making over 100, 200% return on investment. And I was telling Teresa how, like, I'm new to this business of multis, and because of that, I have to be super conservative. What does that mean? That means that in my numbers, I account for not just the expenses of taxes and utilities, but also I put reserves aside. I put reserves aside because something is going to break. I also put vacancy aside because something is going to get empty. Right. And we've been in it for like about 6 months now. We love it. I'm trying to buy 100 properties this year because I'm looking at it like this. If I have 100 properties, they each making $1,000 a month, okay, net after all cases, how much is that per year? It's ridiculous. Okay, so if you guys are interested in learning more, want to get involved in some of these properties, just come to my table and we can talk. Thank you guys.
Next, I want to bring up Paul from National REIA. He's representing National REIS tonight. And National REIS is commercial real estate.
Hi, real quick, I just want to give a round of applause again to Teresa and Natasha. Like, we're vendors at all the major clubs. I mean, it's very rare to find one where the organizers care so much about the people. So, in December, I made an offer, basically. Anybody here who's not a member, let me raise your hand real quick. All right, I mean, you should seriously consider becoming members. Those of you that want to, I'll personally guarantee your membership. If you're not satisfied within the year, come see me personally. I'll give you money back. That's how much I believe in this club. So, all right, real quick about us. Those of you that may know, National REIS is synonymous with multifamily investing. I mean, last quarter of last year closed on about $2 million worth of multifamily real estate, all with private money. So basically our goal is to help people build wealth through cash flowing multifamily real estate. So we work with people on a passive and an active basis. So what that means is if you just want to basically cut a check and get a fair return, you can work with us in that capacity. Those of you that want to get more involved on the active side, meaning you want to go out, you want to buy buildings, we're there for you on a number of levels. Most advanced thing that we do is called the Elite Partnership Program. That's something that was available to only 20 people last year, invitation-only basis. You know, those of you that are interested, you can ask about it. Just to give you an example of what you can do with multifamily real estate, our goal is basically, those of you, if you're aggressive, you should be able to create $1 million of net worth within 60 months. So that's our goal. 60, so that's 5 years. I know you heard me say this last time. So can I give an example real quick? So just to give an example, those of you flipping houses, the average flip size on a house, is it fair to say it'd be about maybe $20,000, $25,000, give or take, after everything? Is that fair? So those of you with the calculator, how many houses do you have to flip to accumulate $1 million? Basically like 50 houses, right? And those of you know you're doing good if you're doing about 10 houses a year. Now, some of you are doing more, some less, but at 10 houses a year, you basically have to work for 5 years to accumulate that $1 million. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And that's if you don't spend any of that money. Who wants to work for 5 years and not spend $1? Okay. No, not really. Let me give you an example of what one 40-unit building can do for you. So there's a 40-unit building, it's called Incline Apartments. We have a case study sheet back there. It's basically 40 units. The purchase price was $450,000. Out of pocket, guess how much down? Anybody? Somebody said $10,000. It was $10,000 cash out of pocket. And the rest was raised with private money, basically paying people about 10%. That building now cash flows $100,000 a year, net, after expenses, after vacancies, and all the things that can go wrong. And then on top of that, there's about $200,000 in equity creation on the back end, right, from increasing the cash flows and everything. So that one deal over 5 years, if you add the cash flows, sorry, the one thing I forgot to mention is we have to pay the investors. After paying the investors, we get to keep about $45,000 of that. So $45,000 over the next 4 years, plus the $200,000 equity is about, I can't do the math exactly in my head, but it's probably close to about $300,000 profit, right, over 5 years. That's all one building. That building takes about 3 hours a month to manage. All right. So everybody here, you know, if you're half serious, you should be able to find at least one deal like that per year, starting next year, even if you spend this whole year learning, right? So that's the power of multifamily investment if you want to make $1 million. We have free webinars, those that want to learn more about what we're doing. Here's some case studies. We will be having some sort of event probably March 24th. So those of you that want to get more info, see some case studies, talk to us. There's a sign-up sheet back there. So I think my time is up. I want to go. We'll take questions back there.
The website?
Thank you.
nationalreis.com. So make sure you go and you talk to us during the networking.
How many people heard Paul say that he guaranteed your $200 membership? Did you record that? Oh. That means if you sign up on tonight, because it's recorded, National REIS has indicated to Attorney Martin, binding and legal, that he will refund the $200 membership if they're not successfully satisfied after their 12 months. And we all know that he only did that because everybody's satisfied with REIA NYC. Natasha Vaughn on today.
Okay, so very quickly, because we have to get to the networking part, and the most important part is also the topic, which is creative financing. So it seems like it just all comes together because we've been talking a lot about multifamily cash flow properties. This is a 12-unit property that's in Baltimore and Maryland. Just to talk to you about Baltimore and Maryland, it has a number of top employers. One of them happens to be Johns Hopkins University and the like. It's been noted as one of the places to live, if you will, in 2011. Very quickly, asking price of this 12-unit property is $225,000. But let's talk about the rehab. We're looking at amount of repairs is $20,000 per unit. Okay. I just wanted some feedback. $20,000 per unit, which is a total of $240,000 total. Total cost overall, $465,000. Wow. Okay. The amenities, if you're having a multifamily property, so forth and so on, laundry, storage, those are additional income that will come in. There's 6 one-bedrooms renting, and I put the lowest rent per month at $800. There is 6 two-bedrooms, which is at $950. There is a range from $850 to $950 for the one-bedroom, range of $950 up to $1,100 for the 2 bedrooms. Property taxes approximately $12,500. Insurance is around $1,500. Total maintenance expenses is $15,000. Of course, I didn't include water and the like in there, but that's included in the total. The cash on cash, if you're buying everything straight out cash, you mentioned, Paul mentioned that, Nick mentioned that, we're looking at 27%. And then the rental income, I've also calculated that for you. After repair, as of 2010, is $540,000. There is a similar unit 2.5 blocks away, which is actually netting $800,000 with about, well, I'm sorry, when I say netting, I mean after repair value, fair market value is $800,000. It's at about a 70% vacancy rate as well. I'm not going to go through the entire detail because I do want us to move forward. We've taken time in answering some questions and what have you, but I will entertain any questions that you might have during a networking session, and my number is there as well. You can feel free to reach out to me. Now, question, 2 things before I leave. The purpose of a deal or no deal is what? To figure out if it's a deal. Right. So how would you determine if this is something that's a deal? What are you looking at? You're looking at the numbers, you're looking at your expenses, right? You're looking about what you're putting into out of pocket.
Cash on cash return.
Cash on cash return, you're looking at cash flow as well, correct? Yes. Normally when we do deal or no deal, usually it's not, sometimes it's not multifamily, usually a single residence, so we'll talk about going to the taxes, we're going to talk about the maintenance. Here I'm giving you an overview of what a multifamily and some of the expenses you should expect. I didn't hear anything about a cap rate. Nick, I'm not ready for you. Cap rate is approximately 9%, but Nick, go ahead.
What's the cash flow after all expenses per month?
That's what I have on a detailed spreadsheet, actually on a detailed handout on the back, which will go through those numbers. Because when it comes to a multifamily property, you have much more detail, as you would gather, than you doing a single family residence. But I do have it in the back for those who are interested.
But the whole thing is owner financing. Your goal is wanting to be the bank. Ain't that everybody's goal? Yes. You want to be the bank. Owner financing allows you to be the bank. Self-directed IRAs allows you to be the bank. Okay? That's what it's about. So owner financing works with motivated sellers when you're trying to get into a deal. Their property has been on the MLS for like months. They can't sell anything because nobody can qualify for the mortgage. They may be in tune with you asking them to hold the note, but nobody does. Even if they have a mortgage, you can get a mortgage and then they can take back a second. There's ways that you can work a transaction if you just ask. This is just the acquisition part. We're not even talking about when you're, selling. But just getting in a deal, you may ask the person if they own it outright, why won't they hold the note? Why won't they be the bank? They know what the economy's doing. If they're doing owner financing, you will pay, it's probably gonna be more expensive because you don't have to get a loan or anything. So you might be paying 10% interest or whatever the case may be. If you're in New York, that's expensive. But you in Detroit, and the property $5,000, okay. 10, okay. I will pay you 50% down. What? You're balling now. What? 50%. That's what I'm saying. Get into a market, get in where you fit in, so you can work the transaction, then come back and play with the ballers. Right? Stop trying to ball now. Y'all know y'all can't be in the playground. Come on now. Stop playing. They kicked you off the swing. Why don't you go? Play somewhere else in the sandbox. Make you some money. Come back and take over the whole playground. How about that? That's all I'm saying. We got to take over the playground.
Is the first mortgage home equity loan?
Huh?
Is that a home equity loan?
No. This is if the seller owns a property and he's trying to sell it.
I know about the owner finance.
Oh, okay.
The first mortgage, when you get that.
Oh, the first one would be you would take out a loan, a mortgage, a first money mortgage, and then if you don't have enough, is what I'm saying. If you don't have say they're selling the property for $200,000, you can only get a mortgage for $180,000, and then you ask the seller to carry back a $20,000. That's what I meant by that. Everybody understand why you should go after owner finances? How many people look at properties and they don't even think about asking the owner to hold a note? Ask. The Bible says you have not because you ask. See, if you was only child, you'd know about asking. Ask for everything. Assume. Assumptions. Right? You can assume the mortgage. However, with these bad mortgages out there now, how many people will be assuming mortgages? But you can if they're assumable, right? So owner finance loans are easiest to assume because individuals are involved and not the mortgage people, right? Okay? The VA and FHA loans can be assumed by qualifying with mortgage holder. So these are called qualified assumptions. So there are ways that you can actually assume the financing that's already in place, but still, for sale by owners or properties that's owned outright is ideal for assumptions. How many people have thought about assuming loans? At great interest. Obviously at great interest. We're not talking about these underwater loans. There's a lot of those, right? Great strategy. But nobody ever thinks about all the different kinds of ways that you can actually get into a deal. If it's a deal, because we got to do property analysis and find out if it's a deal or a deal, But if it's a true deal, why not try to do some assumptions and creative tactics? The one thing you have to worry about is the due on sale clauses, because many investors have figured out a clever way around the due on sale clause. The trick is referred to as subject to the existing mortgage. Now, to make this work, you agree to make the existing mortgage payments, but the mortgage remains in the name of the seller, and it's still the seller's obligation. That's usually what a land trust is. You're really doing a subject to type of transaction. A little bit more complicated, but it is a subject to. But the easiest, he's going to pay. Because I got to give $1,000, right, to the seller.
No
money. Okay. I have to give $500 to my credit restoration company, which happens to be me, because I don't leave no money on the table. So that's $500, because they got to have the credit approved in order to qualify for the mortgage. Right?
Right.
Okay, that's $500, and then $1,000 go where?
National.
My shoes, because I need some more shoes anyway. So that's $1,000, right? That's that. It's non-fungible. We got to worry about it. My rental is $200 a month. So they're gonna pay $500, right? So I give $200 to the seller, and then I pocket what? $300. Well, maybe less than that because I have to give the property manager whatever, right? But you get the point. I'm going to put them on a 12-month lease option, right? 12 months lease option, because it takes them 12 months to improve their credit or whatever, because I'm going to interview them and all that kind of stuff. We skipped all that. 12 months. Now, they do have the option to extend for $1,500, of course. Because not even a profit. It's a money center. You have to do what you need to do in 12 months to get this property, okay? So if you don't do what you have to do to get this property, and you still want to buy the property, you can get an extension or you can move. Don't matter. Either one. right? But if you extend, I'll extend it for another 12 months, okay, while you get yourself together, whatever. After that next 12 months, that's it. If you can't qualify, you have to go. I still got 3 more years to do this all over again. That's why I got 5-year option. You understand how it kind of works?
Yeah.
I mean, it's deeper than that. You know, I got contracts and all that. That's the sandwich lease option. You sandwich it in. And all the rights, you know, go whatever you are supposed to do, you're going to pass it on to the sublessee. The reason why you need the Credit Restoration Center, which is why we have creative financing group, so that you can understand this.
Shark.
Is because with the laws, remember we talked about all the things that's going on? You don't want to be seen as a predatory lender. Trust me when I say that lease option people who have done this, all they cared about was getting the option money, knowing that people couldn't qualify, didn't have no